What's up everybody, Isaac here, Civil Engineering Academy. Today we are going to do another quick tip video. Today we want to talk about how do you leave your job without burning bridges. You know it's a problem, right? You can't just bail out of your company. So let's talk about it today with our quick tip video and get you some answers. Alright, so today we're going to talk briefly about how do you transition, how do you leave a company without burning bridges with your boss, with your employees, with your employer in general. It could be a real problem if you've got a job offer on hand and you just want to get out of there, okay? So, you know, there are some steps to take, I think. The first thing that you should have done at the very beginning when you were working there is you probably should have been a little more upfront about the direction or the skill set or the you know, the opportunities that you wanted in your career. So for example, one time I was working with a mechanical engineer and he was always pretty upfront that the skills that he wanted to learn more of was like automation or robotics or just tinkering with things in a machine lab, you know, something like that. And if you're working in an environment where those things are not there, you know, it's kind of top of mind that you know this isn't where their passion is or what they love. So if you're pretty upfront and you don't want to be too upfront, like, hey, I only got this job for some money and I'm going to get out of here next week. You don't want to be so upfront that they know you're leaving, obviously. But if you're upfront and you know they know what you love to do, maybe there's a direction for you to go anyway. They can find a spot for you. If not, they at least know why you left, because you've been talking about learning a certain skill set or doing something that you've really had a passion for doing or learning. So that's the first thing in order to not burn a bridge, is to kind of be more upfront at the beginning about it. The second thing I can think of is that you don't want to leave your boss hanging. What do I mean by that? Is that if you got a job offer, you don't want to just bail out. You need to find out what you have going on, what projects that you're working on, and make sure that you get those things covered. And by covered, I mean get these projects in a happy spot where they can easily take those projects and transition them to the next employee or something like that. Look, your new company wants you yesterday, and the company you're at wants you for another 3 to 6 months to wrap up all the crap that you got, right? And so, I mean, I've even seen this within companies where maybe the company is so big you've moved departments or something. You still carry the work that you used to do until you wrap it up and put it in a happy spot, and you can transition into the other position. So you do not want to leave your manager hanging, and be very cordial, work with him on this stuff, okay? And that way you don't burn a bridge with him. Okay, this leads to my third tip in not burning bridges, and that tip is that you need to work your very last week that you're there as if it's your first week. Don't go into work, you know, every day you're doing this and you're falling, you know what I'm saying. Don't go into your last week falling asleep, acting like you're out of here in a week, so there's nothing that you're gonna do. You're acting lazy. You don't want that on your back. You will be labeled as the lazy guy that just wants to leave a job, or maybe you're a job hopper, I don't know. So work your last week as if it's your first week, and that way you're putting your best foot forward. You're also, as you're leaving, you're giving it your all, and they know you're a hard worker. All right, tip number 4 is don't get caught up in this counter offer game. If you've gotten an offer from another company and you go in and talk to your boss about it, there is a chance that they might counter offer you, right? But you really have to understand that you want to stay with the company if you're wanting a counter offer. But if you just get into this weird bidding war where people are counter offering all the time for you, I think it really looks bad for you as an employee when you're making your boss and HR have to do all of this for you. And let's say they do get your salary up a little more than your peers. If your peers ever found out about that, they'd be upset, which could lead to policy changes and all kinds of other things down the road. So I'm not saying trying to get the most money is a bad thing, but if you get into this weird bidding war with other companies and you're making your boss do all this extra work for you and then you end up just saying screw it, see you later, that doesn't look good for you, and you've definitely burned a bridge if you ever wanted to come back. So don't get caught up into that bidding war and you'll be okay. All right, my fifth tip here, and it kind of goes along with some of the others, is make sure that you're following the policies on how much time that you give them to leave. Obviously, like I said, the company that you're going to wants you like a week ago, and the company you're with wants you to stick around for a while. So you need to follow basically what your company policy is, and if that's a 2-week notice, then so be it. Give them 2 weeks. Sometimes a company wants you to stay on until a certain project is finished. So sometimes you have to tell a company, look, I can't get over there for 3 to 6 months because I've got this massive project I need to wrap up. But as soon as that's done, I'll be able to focus all of my time with the new company and give you all my attention. But if I can't, then I really need to wrap this up, and I want to leave people in a good spot, and I would do the same for you too. So those are some things to think about. All right, my last tip number 6 on not burning a bridge when you leave a company. The last thing I can think of here is that you need to express your gratitude for the company that you're working with. And I don't care if you hate the company, you've only been there a year, I don't care if you've been there 10 years. You need to express gratitude for the opportunities that you had. They paid your salary for a while, and they've given you some new skills. I mean, even if they helped you know what you don't like to do, right? They've given you something. So express your gratitude to your boss. Shoot out an email to everybody and your coworkers. Let them know how thankful you are for the opportunities that you had, and just express your gratitude. It's good for them, it's good for you, and you'll leave things in a much better spot. I can tell you that if people were more grateful, a lot of bridges would not be burned. So have an attitude of gratitude, and you're not going to burn a bridge. So anyway, I hope that helped you out. If you want more quick tips, head to civilengineeringacademy.com. You should also join up with our free community at ceacommunity.com, where we offer free advice. There's tons of people in there participating with anything civil engineering related, whether it's exams or career advice. We're all there for you. So anyway, hope this helped you out. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.